presentation. This is our 48th presentation. We have completed 1 year by now with 4 presentations at every month. This is really remarkable. Except for the 4 holidays in a year, we have done on every Monday. Today, we have 2 young doctors with us to present along with me. Dr. J. Ashwini. She's a doctor as well as a student of nutrition, right now finishing 2 years of nutrition course. This is a rare combination. Doctor with nutrition education, both formal and actively pursuing. Can you just focus Ashwini, Dr. Ashwini, for people to see? Or shall I stop presenting?
Yeah, you have to stop screen sharing so that they get to see her.
This is Dr. Ashwini. She is right now in Hyderabad at National Institute of Nutrition. And we have been working together for the past 2 months. And she has done very good reports. And what else we can ask? The nutrition suggestions from a doctor directly, a well-trained doctor, and trained in nutrition too. Thank you, Dr. Ashwini, for joining. We have another young doctor, just finished, both of them finished MBBS. Akash, Dr. Akash C.J. He has been working on a special project for almost for the last 1 year with me, ever since we started these presentations, to give you all 100 practical tips to live 100. This is a team of doctors who are working with me, and we will present those actual action items from now on. Until now, we are giving you the information, the knowledge, the science, but from now on, we'll give you something that is very practical. Let me start my presentation, and they will join whenever they are supposed to present. We started our presentations in the month of October last year. And something really wonderful happened, that by June, the best known medical journal, American Journal of Gastroenterology, has published a special issue on food as medicine. This is what we have been talking about all along. And now, as I mentioned in the beginning of our presentations, it is very clear the world is moving away from medicines to food to get better health. We have done these 40 presentations. All of them will be available to you via YouTube. We are working on that, and we have put up some, and we'll put all the others so that you can go back and refer. Now, in this presentation, the final one for this year, we are going to give you some 16 action items, rules in plain, simple, non-science, non-technical terms, so that you can apply in everyday life. The first one, carbohydrates. We all know that using the sunlight, leaf makes carbohydrates, without which no animal form can live on earth, except some bacteria which do not use the plant source. But what we have been doing is we have increased its presence in our food because for thousands of years, humans are hardworking people. Only in this century or in the last few decades, we have become, unlike the other humans, not so hardworking people. So please reduce your carbohydrates and increase your proteins. You have seen this before. We have 40 different pulses, lentils around the world, and available in your area, at least 20 to 25 of them. Please increase the consumption. The simplest way is to soak them overnight. Whatever negative aspects that are there with some of these pulses will go away, reduced, and simply boil it, add spices if you like, and use it as soup. That's the least simple way to increase your proteins every day in your meals. There has been a lot of debate on fats. Low-fat milk has come, but there is no need for such a thing. The science is clear now. You have to eat good fats, healthy fats to lose weight, number one, which is a paradoxical thing, but that is really true. There is enough science. And increase the fat in such a way that is healthy. Healthy fats, we already had a full session on this, and we'll come to specific questions. If you have any, we will answer which one is a healthy one, which one is not a healthy one, but we will not make it as a scientific one. We'll make it as a practical one. Fiber. This is a very, very important piece of information. I want the doctor to talk. Dr. Ashwini, please discuss about fiber.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me here. Like fiber, so it's like gaining an importance because we are moving from whole foods to processed foods. So what happens is that the fiber which is in the whole foods is getting depleted. So it's gaining importance because we are decreasing the intake of dietary fiber. So you can increase the dietary fiber by eating all these things in the slide. If you are from India, you can go for pulses. Pulses are like one of the main things apart from protein, which is richest in the fibers, along with that nuts and seeds, almonds and chia seeds. Seeds are gaining much more momentum now. Sabja seeds, chia seeds, sunflower seeds, everything, they are rich in fiber. Why you need to take fiber is that if you're taking fiber, your energy, you have a satiety, but you're not consuming more amount of energy and you're having the satiety. So it will help you in all the other things like reducing the inflammation, all the things that is going to happen to you. And it is also telling, it is also the recent studies has found that if you are going to increase your fiber intake, then your telomere length is important for the slowing down the aging process is also increasing. So you can live longer by taking more fiber, as well as the gut microbiome. So fiber plays a very important role in modulating the gut microbiome, whereas gut microbiome plays a very important role in reducing all the inflammation that is causing diseases in all the people like diabetes, hypertension, CVD, etc. Thank you.
Good. Micronutrients. There are plenty of vitamins and minerals that are needed for the body. We have discussed this subject in depth in one of my presentations, but the body as a factory. The factory needs a lot of raw materials. It is a million molecule factory, and only these molecules are the raw materials that you have to provide from outside, but the body can make all other molecules that are required. Those we provide from outside, we call them as essential nutrients. If you don't give them, the body cannot get it. And these essential nutrients you have to provide through food. And most of the vegetables, fruits, nuts contain excellent range of vitamins and minerals. There are so many different benefits. Taking individual benefits, what happens if you take magnesium is not the point here. The point is that you have to eat wide range of foods so that naturally you will get, without your knowledge, of all the nutrients that the body needs. So increase different kinds of foods, fruits. Another important thing is increase the plant-based food. We have gone from completely animal or omnivore to herbivore or vegetarian. In this process, vast majority are not vegetarians in the world. And among this group here, yes, we know it is not required, but the other group on Wednesday certainly is aware of these facts, and we all request you to increase the plant-based foods. Plant-based foods definitely add fiber, that what Dr. Ashwini has mentioned earlier. So try to increase as much as you can. If you're already a vegetarian, yes, eat wide range, but if you are new and starting, at least make it much more than before. There are plenty of foods which we discussed earlier. In our database, my team has 1,000 food items in our databases, and some of them are shown here, and 500 of them were given to you in an Excel sheet before. The other question that you may have, yes, it is important to increase everything, agreed, but where do I get it? And New York, because you're all in New York. So in New York City, there's a farmer market. There's a schedule. In each location, as you can see here, each circle is a market location. In your neighborhood, mostly in Queens, I would say you have plenty of these markets. You can definitely get much wider range than in a supermarket or grocery store. So please find out from this map, which is available online, Farmers Market map of New York City, and you surely can enjoy a wide range of varieties. I attended to make sure that these are real markets with information and food itself, not just government propaganda. This is a book that we created with 500 food items, a word search book. And this book, a copy of this book, will be given to you through India Home. And I'm sure if you sit and work on this 500 food items, you will be surprised to know that you are not eating a lot of food items that we are supposed to eat. And obviously, those that you are not eating, you are missing all the nutrients in them. So you already have the list, but now you will get the word search book with the pictures, and you can get the details later in the course of next year. Another very important essential nutrient is water. Human body, male or female, approximately 70% is made up of water. Therefore, drinking water is very important, particularly in New York or cold countries. You don't feel like drinking, yet your body needs it. In the hot countries from India and other places, yes, there is a thirst that comes up, and therefore you will drink. But here, at least make a habit of drinking water. If you can't drink cold water, warm it up a little bit, and different ways to drink water are explained earlier by Lalitaji and myself. Therefore, please make a point to use more water in your daily activities in between, and definitely this will help you a lot. While we have increased our activities, two things that are required to be reduced. Number one, sugar. Number two, salt. This has come out because of two reasons. One, sugar increases your calories without giving nutrients. And salt also doesn't give any other nutrient except the salt that will disturb your various pumps, sodium pumps that are there in the body. Which means sodium pump is a very technical word, sorry, but it is putting out water and maintaining from the cell into the body and from body to the cell, or maintaining the balance of water. Because we do not sweat so much, you do not need that much salt here. Because we do not work so hard, we do not need the kind of sugar that we had earlier used to. Supplements. This is a big subject. Everyone is advised to take supplements, not by their doctor, but by the TV, by the advertisements, and there are hundreds and hundreds of supplements available. A simple supplement could be powder of fruits and vegetables to very complex enzymes and other molecules. Most of them are not really needed for normal growth. People who suggest not to take the supplements say that all these things are available in your body. Body can make these things. These are not essential nutrients. But as we age, body cannot make these molecules efficiently. Therefore, depending on your situation, you have to take some supplements to maintain good health. How to do this selectively? It requires a full cooperation from the doctor and a good study, observation of your situation, so that the doctor can determine what is missing and what would be beneficial to you. Something that is beneficial, a supplement that is beneficial to someone, may not be and need not be good for you. Therefore, this is a subject that is very complex, but please discuss with your doctor or whoever is advising you to take these things thoroughly well. You have to increase the supplements after a certain age. There is no doubt about it, but be selective. And not only be selective, and any supplement that you start using it, you have to observe yourself so carefully. And if it's not suiting your body, or if you are not having comfortable activity, while you are not comfortable in activities while using these supplements, please stop. That's common sense, but it's definitely required. Now, Dr. Ashwini, please go on.
So we have been discussing like what to eat and where to get what are the things to be eaten. But when to eat is also an important thing because we all know we have a clock. There is similar way our body is also clock. There are two types of clock in our body, which is in the brain there is a central clock, and all the there is a peripheral clock in all the other cells in the body. So when these two clocks are not going to work together, then all the inflammation and related diseases, diabetes, hypertension, everything is going to come. So that's where the meal timings plays an important role. You have to eat according to your biological clock. Whatever the body has set timings for you to eat, you have to eat according to that. What are the most to simply say, you have to eat like a king in the breakfast and prince in the lunch and eat like a pauper in the dinner. That means that you can take your high calories, like how much ever you want, you can eat it in the morning, but you should not eat it in the night. The same way, you should not eat your food 2 to 3 hours before your bedtime. And there is a concept called time restricted eating, wherein they say that if you are waking up at 6 o'clock, complete your dinner by 6. That means you have to eat within a period of 12 hours, so that you have a period of fasting for 12 hours, which will be in sync with your biological clock. This is what is more important. And you shouldn't eat overeating in the first hour after waking up. These are the things for now you have to follow. Thank you.
Dr. Akash?
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Akash. Okay, alcohol. Consuming alcohol too much may lead harm to your body. What alcohol does to body is it alters carbohydrates, fat, and protein metabolism pathways, which leads to increased levels of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in the body. So increased carbohydrate levels means increased glucose, and which may lead to diabetes and diabetes-related morbidities in the future. And increased fat levels may lead to increased lipids, which may lead to damage in the liver, and damage to liver may lead to alcohol-induced fatty liver, and then cirrhosis and hepatocellular carcinomas in the future. Long-term uncontrolled intake of alcohol may lead to alcohol-induced neuropathies, alcohol-induced paraplegias, hemiplegias, paralysis, etc. So better not to take alcohol in uncontrolled manners. That's it.
Yeah, and those who really are
Yes.
habituated in a healthy way, please reduce. And the best way to reduce is from pure alcohols to wines, because alcohol doesn't give nutrients, whereas wines, yes, they have some alcohol and also nutrients.
Next, processed foods. By now we all know what is the importance of the natural products, plant-based foods and all. So coming to processed foods, these processed foods are any food that has been altered from a natural product by smoking, curing, freezing, drying, salting, and by adding preservatives and all. These processed foods has high contents of carbohydrates, fats, lipids, oils, preservatives, and some substances like stabilizers, antioxidants, etc. These are very harmful to the body. When the storage methods which are used to store these processed foods are not employed properly, they may lead to favorable conditions for the growth of bacteria, viruses, fungi, etc. These processed foods are highly associated with non-communicable diseases like infections, fevers, and colorectal carcinoma, which has become third most prevalent cancer in the world right now. And the next slide. Food processing spectrum. Coming to the spectrum, NOVA classification of UN has divided food categories into four types. The first one is unprocessed. Unprocessed foods are any foods that are available naturally to us, like fruits, vegetables, pulses, cereals, etc. And second category is minimally processed foods. These minimally processed foods are slightly changed, but they doesn't change their nutritional content. These are preserved by, these are done like preserving, pressing, refining, grinding the seeds of sunflower and olive to get the oils, etc. And the third category is processed foods. These are foods like vegetables, tuna, beans, canned products. They doesn't have more than 2 ingredients added in order to store them. And they rarely have 3 or more ingredients in it. Some examples of processed foods include bread, cheese, pasta, etc. And the fourth category is ultra processed food. These are completely called junk food. They have very high levels of oils, sugars, fats, salt, antioxidants, stabilizers, preservatives. And recent studies show that 90% of almost all of the added sugars people eat consists of these sugars. And these are the more ultra processed foods have more chances of leading to colorectal carcinoma. So better avoid processed foods and swap to unprocessed natural foods. Thank you. And then laughter. Laughter is a physical emotion which can be seen in a good sense of humor in conditions like good sense of humor. Whenever you laugh, there are hormones called endorphins which get released. These are a type of neurotransmitters or messengers that carry signals across the nervous system. And these endorphins may lead to increased levels of dopamine, which is essential for movement, memory, motivations, etc. And increased levels of oxytocin, which lowers stress, anxiety, and increases emotional responses and pro-social behaviors. And also endorphins reduce the levels of cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that regulates our weight, appetite, body metabolism, blood pressure, sugar levels, and it increases in cases of stress and anxiety. So these endorphins may lead to increased dopamine, oxytocin, and reduces cortisol levels. And endorphins may reduce the symptoms of depression, stress, anxiety, etc. And recent studies shows that people with good sense of humor have reduced mortality rates from cardiovascular diseases, infections, etc. Thank you.
Sleep. There's nothing like it, and it may be difficult in the later stage of life, both because of physical and mental factors. There are many different ways that sleep can be induced, and we do not know which one works for whom and which one works when. It is not fully explained, fully understood, like a switch on and switch off system. Ayurveda has certain suggestions. Western medicine has certain suggestions. The US military has certain suggestions. And most of these have to do with the breathing. If you are doing pranayama techniques, they are the most easy ones without taking any pills, without taking any hard work, and without having any side effects. Addiction definitely is not the factor if you do pranayama. If that works for you to sleep well, please practice that. And as Dr. Ashwini said earlier, time to eat food when is very serious, and see that it doesn't disturb you. A light dinner certainly is a must to have better sleep. There are so many factors that affect the sleep, including the light, the bed, noise, and each one has their own preferences, and try to enhance what is good for you to sleep well, reduce what is making you sleep less. These observations under your circumstances, in your own bedroom, in your own vicinities, in your own location, you have to decide. And I don't think it is easy for any outsider to give you a good suggestion about your sleep. But whatever it is, increase your sleep. There are two things that are very important about the sleep. Sleep, actually, to sleep completely or just to lie on the bed. And there are two different ways to see the sleep itself. It's actual sleep that gives you a lot of benefit, no doubt. But being in the bed also will reduce pumping load for your heart to a great extent. This is a new topic, and we will come to that sometime in future of how much relaxation is going to help you. Obviously, lying down, relaxation, all these things will reduce the heart pumping or the workload on your heart. But try to get more sleep than what you have at the moment, because all the reports in the world say that people are having sleep debt or depriving themselves of sleep. We had a full presentation in one of these kind of aspects of the walking. Walking half an hour a day is really important, because the exercise aspect and the concentration aspect, both are considered important for people to have a better health. So the exercise aspect is many muscles that otherwise you don't have to use just while you sit are used. And while walking, your brain can be free. Under the circumstances, you can think, or you can have company that can help you to have a conversation. And as Dr. Akash said, you may get a laugh while talking to your friends. All these things are done together. And walk is an important aspect of that. Yes, we all walk within the house from place to place. You can count that, but it is important that at least a 15 to 30 minute walk every day is important for you to walk as a purpose to walk. And that is counted as 6,000 to 10,000 feet of walking, depending on your situation. And there are plenty of counters. If you are not sure how much to walk, use one of those counters. Almost all the phones will have that kind of counter these days. You don't have to buy anything special, or you can time it. You have seen this before. With all these things, you definitely can increase your longevity. Not only you increase your longevity, but you can live in a healthy way. We normally, if you neglect, it may be less from 60 years, and normal, you may lead a good healthy life up to 70, but you can extend that up to 80 to 85, meaning 10 to 15 years you can add. Yes, with all these suggestions, implementing them in a very systematic way. What I mean systematic is regularly, not just starting and leaving, which most of us anyway do. But we are giving you so many suggestions, and even if you leave some, cannot follow some, and is not practical to have all of them. Anything that you can do will definitely add value, and you can live a very healthy, long life, according to the published reports, up to 85. But thousands of years of knowledge from Indian subcontinent and Vedas never said 85. They said 100 atoms, 100 years. This is actually a hymn from Atharva Veda, the chapter 19, and the hymn number is 67. This is fully available. All these are available on the web. The references are given here below. Sacredtext.com, sacred-text.com has these resources. And the rishis or Vaidyas or Acharyas they definitely wanted people to live 100 years, not only live, wanted people to have healthy life. Listen to this. And also the great coincidence, we started our meeting with a Hindi song where the same theme is echoed.
Pashyema Sharadashatam Jivema Sharadashatam Buddhyema Sharadashatam Rohema Sharadashatam Pushema Sharadashatam Bhavema Sharadashatam Bhuyema Sharadashatam Bhuyasi Sharadashatam.
May we see 100 autumns. May we live 100 autumns. May we be wakeful for 100 autumns. May we attain wisdom for 100 autumns. May we be well for 100 autumns. May we adorn 100 autumns. May the autumns be more than 100. May we accomplish all this.
This is a profound message from the rishis to the modern people. With all the knowledge, with all the amenities, with all the medical attention, with all the care that you can give to your body and mind, at the moment, it is possible to reach 100. And I'm glad to see that, well, sir, today is celebrating 95th year. And all the seniors in this group and the group on Wednesday, whoever is part of this presentations of the India Home, surely can increase not only 15 healthy years, but add many more. All this is possible with the team that we have been working for the past 1 year. And the team starts with Ms. Lalita Ramamurthy. You all know her very well. Dr. Dattatreya Rao, Dr. P.V. Satyanarayana, Ms. Sridevi Jasti, Dr. Rashmi Kulkarni, Dr. Dattatreya Nori, Ms. Teresa Han Mackerly, Dr. R.B.N. Prasad, Mrs. M. Vijayalakshmi, Dr. Vijayalakshmi Prata, Mr. Shivashankar, Dr. Indumati Katudar, Chef Tracy, Dr. Ganesh Begler, Ms. Manjari Chandra, Ms. Neelam Srivastav, Professor Kavita Menon, Mr. Keshav Agrawal, Mr. Rahul Bodepalli. They are the ones who helped us to make the food party game. Dr. Ashwini, Dr. Akash, Dr. Aishwarya Veena, Dr. Tejaswi Reddy, and Ms. Arpita Lalu. This team of these 5 doctors and Arpita will bring us 100 real, practical, science-based, simple action items that you can implement in your life to reach the goal to have a healthy, longer life. I have to share one more. I don't know why it stopped. For all this to happen, I have to thank Ms. Geeta Jambali, Ms. Kavita Shah, Mr. Gaurav Nayan, Dr. Vasundhara Kalsapudi at India Home. Right. Geetaji, I completed the presentation.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Dr. Rao. Like always, you bring up so much knowledge to our seniors. It's all like, we are also watching from last 1 year. We got so much of knowledge and it's all brushing up. I mean, like, pata hota hai, but like when you brush up things, like it makes more sense and we can, get involved in making healthily, cooking healthy, those kind of stuff. Thank you so much for bringing these sessions to our seniors. I think
Now, the floor is open and people
Yes.
can ask questions.
Right.
We have two doctors here.
Yes, you have to
Who are,
stop
of course,
sharing the screen, Dr. Rao.
Okay. Excuse me, they say white wine and red wine is healthy if you take every day. Is it true?
Yes, I published on that.
I missed
Yes.
that part.
Yeah. No, I published long time back as a scientist. And if you are drinking any alcohol, switching to wine is the better choice. And between the white and red, definitely resveratrol, the key molecule that is helping you to be healthy in different ways. Red wine is better. And also in red wine, there is another advantage. People have mix actually various fruits and materials. Therefore, they also add value to your drink.
But if somebody have the some diabetic person, is that good for red wine? Or because in a wine also they have sugar, right?
Yes, wine gives you calories. The alcohol in the wine gives you calories. And I would let either Dr. Ashwini or Akash to give their comments. Ashwini is already smiling. Ashwini, start with that.
Even though they are diabetic, they can drink wine. It is the wine is not the dark sugar. It is like fermented product only. So it is not going to be harmful, but rather it will be helpful because the resveratrol is not only it is a compound like antioxidant thing, so it can also help in reducing the inflammation which is going on due to diabetic, all those things also. Even the alcohol gives calories, it's okay. You can take with the wine, that is only 7 kilocalories which you are taking. It will not make that much difference in your sugar levels.
Can we do the intermediate diet?
You mean fasting?
Yes, intermediate fasting.
That's rather than doing intermittent thing, you can try to do time restricted eating, because in time restricted eating, what you are doing is that you are restricting the time period. Like you are finishing your dinner by 6. That means you are not eating like 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. No, but if you are going, the advantage in the time restricted eating is that you can eat the calories you want. And you are following the regular pattern of timing to eat, so it is not going to be very harmful. But if you want to try intermediate fasting, what happens is that there is going to be calorie reduction. That is how much of calories you are going to take is where it is going to reduce. We are going to do an alternate day fasting or 16 hours fasting. Like that means it is not sustainable for a longer period of time. So it is better to go with the time restricted eating. Like you can follow a period of time, like from 6 to 6 you are completing everything, which will be helpful in a much better way. The research has found that if you time restricted eating only, you are reducing the calorie intake like by 20%, which is much better and sustainable for a longer period of time compared to the intermittent fasting. So I personally feel like you can go with the time restricted eating rather than doing intermittent fasting.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have another doctor joined us.
Can I
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
about chia seeds? Chia
Just a minute.
seeds. How do we eat it?
Just a minute. We have another doctor joined, Dr. Tejasri Reddy, one of our team members. Hello, Tejasri.
Hi. I have a word about the keto dieting and the intermittent fasting. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Are you answering the question?
No. I think I have some words to express regarding the intermittent fasting.
Yeah, please go ahead.
In intermittent fasting, I think we'll be taking no food. So most of the metabolism is converted towards fat and protein. So the products which we get from the metabolism of the protein and fat will be a burden to our body, which is different from our normal. So kidneys can't filter most of the protein and fat at a time compared to carbohydrates, the simple metabolites. So intermittent fasting is not that good in terms of me, because it's a complicated process and it's a burden to our kidneys and liver to generate more of the energy products from the proteins and the fat. And our body is usually adjusted to the simpler mechanism of carbohydrates, and then there will be a sudden shift to the metabolism of proteins and fats for our daily energy. It's a burden on our body. That's what I want to say.
Oh, that's very good to know, Tejasvi, because like a lot of people now, youngsters also go for that intermediate fasting. That's good to know.
Because our body is usually adapted to the carbohydrate mechanism and the metabolism. But when there will be a shift to the protein and fat metabolism, there will be complex products from that.
Okay.
Which our kidneys can't filter them easily. Like we get simple glucoses from the carbohydrates, but whereas we get ketone production from the fat, which are the complex products to be filtered and produced.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask about the proteins. If you are vegetarian, I understand that we can take lentils. And if I am totally like vegetarian, I don't eat eggs. Is there anything else you can suggest beside with the lentils and for the proteins?
Kidney beans, soya bean,
Okay.
almonds.
Okay. Yeah, I take that. Okay.
Most of the nuts.
Nuts.
Thank you.
Even broccoli has a lots of iron and protein.
Okay, thank you.
Peanuts too. Peanuts.
Yes.
So nuts, basically nuts too.
Right. Is there any other question? Sorry.
Yes. Can I ask 1 second? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In the breakfast, I am eating the fruits. Then after a couple of hours, I am eating the soaked nuts. And for lunch, like salad. And at the night is a regular dinner. Is it okay? This is good? Safe way?
Ashwini, I suggest that you answer as a doctor.
Actually, like you should actually reverse your the way you are eating. Because all the studies says that whatever you are eating, you have to eat in the breakfast a rich calorie, but you are eating like fruits and soaked nuts, which is not going to give you that much calorie. But if you eat the food in the night, that is exactly reversing the metabolism. Actually, what happens is that the carbohydrate metabolism has a circadian rhythm. That's something like how the carbohydrate metabolism happens during the morning and happens during the night is entirely different. So if you want to eat your one large meal, you can do it in the lunch or in the morning, but don't do it in the night time. You can go for the salad or fruits in the night time, but you can start your early morning with the soaked nuts. But take a good meal, 1 meal or 2 meals, but whatever you want to take it in the morning and the afternoon, but not in the night time. So try to change according to that.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Is there any other?
Okay, if there are no more questions, we can close the session. But please let us know your response and your questions directly to the India Home team, Ms. Geeta ji and Kavita ji. And from now on, we will not be answering the questions on this spot, but we will be sending it to you directly. To all of you, of course. That way it will be recorded and these can be reviewed. At the moment, reviewing them, going back to them is not that easy. And we have the doctors, dietitians, and a doctor here who is also studying nutrition, Ashwini, Dr. Ashwini. So there's very interesting answers that will come up, because one aspect of when to eat and intermittent fasting, both the doctors said that don't go for intermittent fasting. First, try to do a time-restricted eating. And don't burden your body with reversing the metabolic requirements. If you eat at night, that is reversing it. So this is the kind of debate, discussion, even in the presence of doctors, is what we want to give you a better practical answer.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rao. Thank you, Dr. Ashwini, Dr. Akash Kumar, Dr. Tejasri for coming to India Home for a presentation. It was very helpful, and definitely I think our seniors are going to follow some of these things, whatever you guys told today in the presentation. Thank you so much. And seniors, like whoever is in the art class today, we'll meet up at 1:30. Otherwise, see you guys tomorrow at Vayu Shakti Yoga and Meditation session. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Geeta ji.
Bye-bye.